Only my day because I was so emotionally touched. Believe me, I love it being touched in the cinema, but it happens very, very less, you know, because if you have in this all sci-fi effect movies, it has no heart and no soul, and this movie has a heart and a soul thanks to you and your work.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear you say that because I'm just as fed up as you are. I love the movies. I go for the story. I'm sure you heard John say this, but you leave the plot at the theater. What you leave with are those themes, those very relatable themes, those emotions. That's what we're trying to achieve. It's not just the big explosions and this and that, it's the relationships. That is what's so important. And if you have that intact, then I think the other more explosive qualities can really shine.
And I told to John, when you watching this movie, and if you have your heart on the right place, you will fall automatically in love with ALITA. There's no other way. So when you see it for the first time, what was your imagination?
I fell in love with ALITA. The same way you forget that she's CGI and the big eyes and all this stuff, that's the same thing I encountered when I watched ALITA. I was sucked into the movie. I was sucked into the world. I cried when her heart breaks. I cry because she's someone with such a big heart, someone with so much soul, so much emotion. So you know what the agony she's going through in this moment, in several moments, and you can't help but have it break your own heart. I mean, you are with her the entire time, and I am her, and I experienced that. So I'm glad to hear that you experience that as well. When you're so close to something, you can sort of be too close, and you can't really know how other people will experience it. But I'm glad to hear that this is the way you experienced it.
It worked very well, very well. And I see your martial arts videos on the internet, and it looks so great.
Thank you.
So how hard was it getting trained like that? This is wahoo!
Some days were better than others. Some days you go in and you're very excited and energized, and everything's very positive, and you're doing very well, and you know, maybe you're not kicking as high as you would like, but you accept your limitations in that day, and you can see the goal ahead. And then other days, you're simply fed up with yourself and those same limitations. You just want to be good already. That was very hard for me to push through. I'm a perfectionist, and I love my job. So I didn't want to just look good. I wanted to be good. I wanted to be great. I wanted to be able to do more stunts than they were allowing me to do previously. I wanted to do as much as possible to bring this character to life. And what it did was, yes, I became stronger physically, but I also became stronger spiritually. And this, it woke my warrior spirit. It taught me how to calm the tiger within.
And I think you have a big tiger within, because we see it on screen. Did maybe some unusual happen? Maybe you got some cuts and bruises doing the martial arts training or the fighting scenes on set? Or?
I did. You hurt yourself a lot when you're doing martial arts. I fell on my ribs a few times. Sometimes you do a whip kick and your other leg just gives out and you fall on your rib. I've broken my ribs several times in other ways. I've had the wind knocked out of me. I broke a staff on my assistant trainer's face. I've taken a few punches and kicks. It's gruesome. It can be quite gruesome, but it makes you tough. I remember sparring with my sensei, which is a crazy sentence that I just said, but I remember sparring with him, and he punched me, and I just stood there. And he said, "This is why we're sparring. You need to learn how to be unfazed by getting hit in the face." He said, "Everyone should get hit in the face." Okay. Everyone should get hit in the face, and just because you take it and you keep going. If you stand there with egg on your face, you are going down. So I learned how to push through kicks and punches coming at me, and that was an entire education all in itself, metaphorically and physically.
That's a very good lesson for life, especially when you work in the media business.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
looking at the scenes with Christoph or with Hugo, did you remember maybe some funny moments on set, maybe some blooper things we don't see on screen?
Oh my God. So you are aware of the kissing bridge scene where Hugo says, "You are the most human person I've ever met." And he tucks a bit of hair behind her ear and he pulls in Alita's face and he kisses it passionately, except I don't have hair because all of my hair is in a do-rag and I'm wearing a helmet. And they decided the best way to achieve this hair move would be to Velcro a couple strands of yarn to my head, and that's not very sexy. So I didn't feel very sexy during that scene, and we had quite a few laughs because it's utterly ridiculous.
That's a great story. Maybe some more nice memories, maybe something go wrong that should not go wrong.
Oh my God, so many, so many, so many. Well, when Yukito Kishiro came to the set, he's a man of few words, as you heard John say. You know, he sits in his art studio like this most of his life. So when he came to the set, he was so awestruck. And I saw him from across the soundstage, and I ran full force at him, and I jumped and I wrapped my arms around his neck and I said, "Hello," and he just whispered so slightly in my ear, "Alita." And that was like so, it made my heart explode. Alita. It's almost as if he was meeting this character that he'd been so close to for so long in real life. That was such a gift that made me feel like I had won an Oscar or something, to hear him say that. It was almost like a validation. You are Alita.
Very great. And this is also a very great character because I grew up in a world where we have just male superheroes.
Yes.
It takes so long until the first female superheroes came up, and now we have some standalone movies like Alita where you have a young girl in this empowering role, and I think that so many young girls can look up to her. And I hope this will be happen when they're watching the movie. So some words about that Alita has maybe the power to give something to the audience, especially to the female audience.
And that something is representation. If I see someone like me on screen, then maybe I can have those qualities. Maybe I have those qualities. Maybe I can go on a journey inward and find my power and find my voice and find my capabilities and find that I am not insignificant and that I'm actually quite extraordinary. Maybe if I see myself up there, I can do that too. We have so many male protagonists that we can relate to. I relate. One of my favorite movies is Stand By Me. I relate to the formative years of 4 boys. I find something in that to relate to, and that's fine. Here, we have a female protagonist that young boys can relate to. This is the point. It's all about having a vast array of perspectives. You feel me?
Okay, I hope it will happen, and I hope that the people will get the message.
They will.
Because that would be very, very great, and I hope it will be also be a big success in the cinemas, because I want to see the second movie, the third movie. Hopefully they made maybe 5 movies out of it. So are there concrete plans that you say, okay, if this will be a big success, and I'm sure it will, we go on set in the next summer and shooting the second one, or is there some?
What I like about John Landau is that he said to me, when we wrapped, I said, when do we do the second one? He said, we're going to let the audience decide. And that is tremendous respect for moviegoers. He's not going to force feed you something that you have not decided you don't or do want. He's going to wait and have you tell us. So if you go and you bring your friends and family to the movie and experience ALITA in the theaters, then perhaps you will be buying a ticket to the second ALITA. And I would do these movies until I'm 90.
That's great. And be sure, when the movie comes out in Germany, I will buy 3 tickets, because I have to see it 3 more times to see all the details in the back that I haven't recognized yet. Because, yeah. Because like Guardians of the Galaxy, you must see it 5 times to see every single detail in the back. Things that you don't have recognized before, you see it with the 3rd screening or with the 4th screening.
And it's so luscious, it's so full, because even on Ito's set, I mean, this is not CGI. Every single thing on that set is practical, is real. Things that you'll never use in the movie are there, little bolts and nuts and pieces and cybernetic parts and rooms, and it's all really there. So there is the potential to discover more and more and more the more you see it.
And I love collecting props. I think I will never get something from the set, because it's so a big movie, as I won't. James Cameron usually don't give anything out of it, like George Lucas. What did you think? When did you have maybe the chance to steal maybe something? They're giving something, so maybe you have the sword hanging on your living room wall or anything?
I don't have a Damascus blade, but do you know who does? Ed Skrein. He has a replica of the Damascus blade. And I will fight him, and I will take it from him.
I would also like to get the maquette outside. It's a figure of you, you know. But they
Can you imagine how scary that would be if I had that in my house?
Yeah, it would be great.
Someone knock on the door, I just wheel her out and then open it.
Yeah, the face.
A lot of pranks I want to do with this.
The face is so great, because it looks like a wax figure, like from Madame Tussauds.
Yes.
This is so well done, because it looks so real.
Yes.
It's not only a puppet. It's like the molded.
Well, that's because they took so much of my actual face, lines and creases and wrinkles and dimples and scars. They took so much. And this is why I was so pleased when I saw the finished product, because I saw more and more and more as the post-production went on. They just kept taking more and more and more of my actual face and putting it in ALITA, and it made me very happy to see that. So that's what they did with the live scale ALITA.
It's well done, and I can say thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will hopefully see you in the next 5 movies of ALITA, and I can't wait when they come out.
And thanks to performance capture technology, I can do these movies forever.
When you're 90.
That's right, when I'm 90.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.